Peace and love, peace and love. This is Yari, and this video is about the sun being in Gemini. So it is Gemini season officially. Peace and love to the Geminis. Of course, I'm a sun sign Gemini, so this is going to be my birth season and definitely popping right now in my life. It's an amazing time also for my chart, where it is in my chart where I have Gemini. And so it's going to be awesome for me as far as my career and, you know, how I represent myself, my achievements, and, you know, things that build up and add up to my purpose overall. And so your placements are very, very important. The sun in Gemini, overall for all of us, is all about this talkative nature, this nature of wanting to learn. That curiosity is really going to feed areas where we like knowledge, and also feed areas where we have a lot of energy. Because Gemini is a dual sign and it's talking about the twins, this is a lot of areas where we can multitask and a lot of areas where we can get bored very easily. And so you definitely want to keep the twins stimulated, and you want to keep that part of your body and your mind and your spirit always being, always say feed both the twins, your logical part of yourself and your emotional part of yourself, so that you can stay aligned and also make really good decisions about things you need to do or people you want to connect to. So this is going to be times where a lot of people are putting a lot of energy towards different projects, things they've never done before, new things. And it's a beautiful time for that. You're waking up another part of you. And so the universe is putting a whole lot of light in areas that you may not have used before. So we're manipulating areas where you might be lazy or slothful or forgetful, or areas where you might have forgotten about different magic, different gifts, different things you want to go ahead and start to use. Things even from childhood, a lot of things get brought up from a lot of people when you're talking about Mercury, when you're talking about your communication, how you take in information from childhood up until now. And even with the retrograde and everything, it's a lot of things coming back into play. What you were really good at, some unfinished business as far as projects, a lot of things, your connections to people, areas in your life dealing with business, personal relationships. A lot of things can get reinforced through your connections and reinforced. The universe will push people back into your space like a magnet. However, you want your magnet to be clear and making sure that you're attracting the right people. Gemini deals with the law of polarity. So being open to different things, and like I say, being at the buffet of life, being able to take in different things and put them on your plate, and being able to really, really thrive off of whatever it is that you chose is just a beautiful thing. And so not being overwhelmed and not having to be overcome with your nervousness or anxiety is a great day, and a great way, I would say, during the whole season, is to breathe those things out. Because Gemini deals with the hands and the lungs, you want to make sure through your nervous system that you're breathing properly, that enough oxygen is getting through all parts of your body, and you're putting a lot of energy towards your nervous system and making sure that everything is on the up and up, so that your ideas and everything, your concepts, everything is just coming from a very fruitful place. And you also want to make sure that you're pushing down any nerves, and you're not overthinking, and you're not moving too slow. You know, you want to make sure that you're at a good pace about the things that you're coming into, people that you're going to be meeting, and just have a really good flow about the signals that you're sending. Whether this is through email, through text, through the phone, through any type of communication with people, you want to make sure that you're getting your message out smoothly. And with it being the sun in Gemini, it's an excellent time for us to say what we need to say, whether it's through art, whether it's apologies needed, whether we're expressing and marketing our business, whether it's somebody we love, we like, people we want to reconnect with, all of those things. Gemini is all over the place sometimes. So to find that gem, you want to make sure that you're balanced. You want to make sure that the emotional part of yourself, or your intuitive part, is being fed. You want to make sure you're trusting your gut and you're trusting spirit. However, you want to feed the mind, okay? That logic, that reasoning, and the part of you that likes to make sense of everything. You want to make sure that that's being fed as well, so that you can take in and, I would say, digest information and your contacts that you're coming in. You want to make sure that you are reading these people. You're reading energy. You want to make sure that you're reading a room, okay? And so you're like two people. And so a lot of people get to experience what it's like to be a Gemini all the time during Gemini season. And any season, we get to experience that personality, that of that sign. And so a lot of people get to see what a lot of Geminis get to experience as far as our magnificent intellect and our ability to be dual in a lot of different things, our ability need to look both ways, as I always say, before we cross the street. So seeing things from everybody's point of view makes us really, really good people to be around, and it's easy to be around us. Geminis, and I always say us. My ascendant is in Leo, but I still rep the Geminis because your ascendant is your true sign. But I do Leo things in a Gemini way. I would say that. So there's a lot of power put into the sacral chakra, your heart chakra, connecting to people, being open, being accepting, being able to learn and see different things from different perspectives. Also being at your sacral chakra, taking in those things at your heart and really, really zooming in on them and seeing the beauty in those things, and really, I would say, mixing it in the bottom of that pot at your sacral chakra, making sure that you can really use the ingredients from the people and the connections that you're bringing in. Also from spiritual standpoint, how you connect with the divine and the messages that you bring in. That has a whole lot to do with those contacts and connections. And so these strangers or people, or even people you reconnect with, there are no strange happenings. And so you have to understand that your path will put you back in the space of people you've been around, or new people and people you thought you would never talk to. And that's what makes Gemini season so amazing, because it trines Libra and also trines Aquarius. These new people, new situations, and different areas where we're taking risks and doing something different or being around different types of people. But this is also an area where we exercise our tolerance. And so, there's a lot of tolerance around people that we normally, wouldn't be around, or people who think differently or have a different lifestyle. This gives you time to really exercise that tolerance and really be around somebody else that doesn't move the same way you move, but you can still learn something. And that's the amazing thing about Geminis. We find a different way to learn from everything. And it's like the mind of a child, which is very innocent and very pure, but also just very to the point. And so Geminis take things very basic and very simple, and we can elevate it. And so that's where that creativity comes out with Gemini. So a lot of people will see a lot of those things play out, even if you're not a sun sign Gemini. That is still a part of your life. It's still a part of your chart, and it's still a part of something that you exercise in different ways. And we've all learned to, talk, which is what Gemini teaches us. And so at that 3-year-old, I would say Gemini is like the 3-year-old sign. And so it's like a 3-year-old learning everything, touching everything, getting into everything. And so that's the twins. So it's like having two people within you really trying to wrangle, a common goal, and about choosing who's going to drive that day. So I always say Geminis have more than one energy in their vehicle. They have more than one driver, which is why people might say Geminis are crazy or two-faced or however. It's just a dual energy within them. And so, like I say, the balance is the work. A shadow work all month for Gemini season is wherever you are all over the place and don't have direction. Wherever you haven't set a set goal about things you need to do, wherever you haven't looked at the future and thought about the bigger picture, is the area that could really slow you down. And so you want to make sure that you have a plan for the rest of the year about your job, about your living space, traveling, your love life, your money. All of those things need a plan. We need a 6-month plan. We need a 3-month plan. We need to know where we're going. And so I would call it making sure your map is on point for the month. And this is what gets you closer to your understanding. This gets you closer to your light that the universe has promised. And this gets you closer to that all-around alignment at 360 degrees. Peace and love, you guys. Reach out to me, all Geminis, for your session, because it's going to be something very, very vital for the rest of your year. So you want to make sure of that. Also remember that Gemini also has Venus here. And so with Venus being here, is going to bring things through different ways to get your money and your love. Different ways to get things, different ways to learn, different people you have to go through and meet, and different ways you have to go around thinking. You have to go about things a whole nother way. You might have to take a whole nother, alley that you wouldn't normally take to get something that you do want. And so this is what changes you up and changes your clothes as you operate around different people and different situations for the month. So a lot of people's clientele and all of that may change. Your dealings with your friends, all right? And on the shadow work of all of that is just gossip and naysaying and people making things up and people saying things that are make-believe, or wherever you may have open enemies or hidden enemies in your chart that could definitely come into play. So pay attention to wherever you have Pisces, wherever you have Virgo, wherever you have Sagittarius. Those are going to be major components for your Gemini season. All right, reach out to me, you guys, and enjoy this season.